My husband's childhood best friend asked me for a favor, then humiliated me in front of her family. I'm done being the bigger person. Original post. I've been sitting on this for a few days, trying to decide if I'm just being dramatic or if I've been letting too much slide for too long. So I, 30 female, have been happily married for a few years now. My husband, 31 male, is honestly a gem. Kind, patient, hilarious, loyal, basically everything you'd want. Which, after having an ex cheat on me with his best friend, is kind of a big deal. That relationship wrecked me for a while, but I worked hard not to drag the wreckage into something new. And thankfully, my husband's never given me a single reason to question him. Until now, maybe, I do not know. My husband and I have a great relationship, and we're pretty social and often hang out with each other's friends. I get along with almost all of his group, and they've honestly made me feel welcome, except for her. His childhood best friend, let's call her Kathy. Kathy has always been cold to me, not outright rude, just subtle enough to make me feel crazy for noticing. You know, that kind of vibe. Every time we've been in the same room, she's managed to talk around me, not to me. I tried, I really did. I've smiled, made conversation, been nothing but warm, even when she's given me nothing to work with. She doesn't show up to group hangouts, but she'll invite him over. And he always tells me, to his credit. He never goes without mentioning it, and he's never weird or secretive about her. But it still rubs me the wrong way. I've tried being friendly, I've tried small talk, heck, I invited her to our birthdays, barbecues, engagement dinner. She bailed on all. She skipped our wedding too, and she only ever seems to reach out to him, usually when she's just been dumped and needs to talk. When I've brought it up, my husband says I'm overthinking it, that Kathy is just a little odd socially. Maybe she is. Then a few weeks ago, out of nowhere, she messaged me. She asked if I'd model for her project, totally unexpected, and I was caught off guard enough to say yes. Part of me thought maybe this is her trying to connect. Maybe this was her olive branch. I even felt a little hopeful. God, I was naive. So I agreed. My husband offered to come with me since he hadn't seen her in a while and thought it'd be fun to catch up after. When we got there, her family was also involved. And from the second I walked in, it was like stepping into some passive-aggressive Twilight Zone. Her mom and sister kept calling my husband our son-in-law. I laughed awkwardly, thinking I must have misheard. It only got worse. During the shoot came more of the snarky comments, jokes about the one that got away and some bonds never fade. Her mom at one point literally said, "We always thought Kathy would end up with him, but life has its detours, I guess, and Kathy always imagined walking down the aisle with him." And then, it's sweet of her to fill in though. I wish I was exaggerating. And Kathy just kept snapping pictures, smiling, saying nothing. No, hey, cut it out. No awkward laugh. No redirect. Nothing. My husband, clearly uncomfortable. I watched him fidget through the whole thing, clear his throat a few times. He tried to change the subject or came near me during the shooting. He didn't say much either, just went kind of quiet. I stuck it out for an hour, let her take her photos. Smiled, posed, whatever. But the whole time, I felt like I was part of a social experiment, and everyone else was in on the joke but me. When we got in the car, he was silent for a while, then finally said, "Sorry about all that." That was weird, right? And honestly, I didn't even know what to say. Because yeah, it was weird. It was borderline disrespectful. And the fact that he was there, saw all of it, clearly felt it too, and still didn't step in or pull the plug, it makes me feel kind of alone in this. I'm just tired. Tired of pretending this woman is harmless or just awkward. She knows exactly what she's doing. I don't want to start a huge fight, but I'm at the point where I don't want her in our lives. Not as a friend, not as a ghost in the corner of our marriage. No more bending over backwards to be the cool wife. I'm not interested in earning points with someone who clearly doesn't want me around. Anyway, thanks for letting me scream into the void for a minute. I really needed to get this out. Edit. Sorry guys, English is not my first or even second language. Sometimes it's harder to get my points or feelings across. Just to clarify a few things people were asking about. Kathy is actually a photography major, and this shoot was part of her final project. I'm not a professional model or anything, but I've done some hobby modeling here and there, so when she asked if I'd help out, I thought it was a casual favor. Why at her house? She comes from a wealthy family and has a fully set-up photo studio in their house, which is why the shoot happened there instead of at a regular studio. I honestly thought it'd just be her and the camera, not a full audience with drinks and commentary. Additional background, I grew up in a pretty emotionally abusive household, so I think I've gotten too used to passive-aggressive comments and just sort of freeze up. Maybe that's why I didn't react more in the moment. But yeah, it definitely hit harder after the fact. I will update you as soon as possible. Now for the top advice before reading the update. Borderline disrespectful? I'd hate to see what you think is actually disrespectful. Yeah, there is no borderline about it. This was a rude and disrespectful as heck. I'm sorry she did this to you. And I'll be honest, I'm a bit disappointed your husband didn't say something to stop them. They were purposefully hurtful to you. When they were all saying they always thought Kathy would end up with him, he should have said, "No, I got what I wanted, and I am more than happy with my choice." You should be telling your husband it's not weird. It's par for the course. This is just the next step in the very apparent pattern of behavior from Kathy. That's he's allowed to let happen, over and over. Every time he left, whether to spend time with her out of the home or over the phone to spend time with her, she tallied that as a victory. Now it's a matter of pushing the line. How much will he allow at your expense? How easy will he forgive with a short, insincere apology if he finally says something? She's playing a long game and trying to plant ideas, and it's even better when someone else can plant the ideas too. Enter her family. This is not new. This is not weird. This is her normal behavior toward you. Maybe his rose-colored glasses are slipping. This was just the next step in her war on your marriage. Exactly. A best friend who skips their best friend's wedding? Give me a break. Now for the update. For those wondering, no, they never dated. He had a high school crush on her over a decade ago. That's ancient history. No, I don't think he's ever cheated, emotionally or physically. He's always very open and honest. We have each other's passwords. They barely see each other anymore in person, maybe once every few months. We live about 2 hours away. Okay, so, funny enough, I didn't even get the chance to sit down and talk to my husband before something else happened. I just can't believe my life at the moment. Anyway, I was still trying to process what happened and sort through my anger towards Kathy, and honestly, toward my husband too. That's when I got a message from my sister-in-law. We'll call her Mary. I'm really close with Mary. She's also part of the wider social circle that Kathy floats around in. They're friendly, but not close. She sent me a screen recording from Kathy's close friend's story with a simple WTF. It was a clip of me posing during the shoot, no music. But in the background, you can clearly hear Kathy's sister say, Kathy should have been the one to marry him. I lost it. I waited until my husband got home from work, sat him down, and showed him the video. He watched it once, then again. His whole face changed. He finally looked angry. I could not help but think, why didn't he have the same reaction there? So I laid it all out. I told him everything, every snide comment, every time Kathy made me feel small, how I'd always tried to be civil, how I never asked him to choose between us, but I was done being polite while someone consistently disrespected me. I told him, if this doesn't bother you enough to act, we've got a bigger problem. I'm not going to be in a marriage where I have to beg to be defended. I need a partner who stands up for me. And if that's not you, then I need to rethink this. He didn't argue, didn't get defensive, and I know he feels sorry. Then I showed him the Reddit post. He tried to read every comment. Some of them made him tear up. When he finished, he looked at me and said that he feels like the worst husband. He let this happen right in front of him. He is so sorry, and he asked me, what do you need from me now? I told him straight up, this isn't just about her anymore. It's about whether or not you're willing to protect this marriage. But I'm not going to feel like I'm second place in my own relationship. So it's either me or her. So we called Kathy. She picked up all cheerful, acting like nothing had happened. We brought up the video. She immediately got defensive. Oh, come on. It was just a joke. Are you really mad over that? Seriously? And that's when he stepped in. This isn't just about the video. It's the constant disrespect toward my wife. I didn't say anything before because I didn't want to lose your friendship, and I convinced myself you didn't mean it. But what happened at that shoot? That was disgusting. My wife came to support you, and you and your family treated her like a joke. I didn't speak up then, and I'm ashamed of that. But that ends now. I don't even know why I held on to this friendship for so long. If you can't respect my wife, you don't respect me. She laughed. Literally laughed. Wow, you're really cutting me off over that girl? Oh my God, I was ready to fight. But my husband calmed me down and said to Kathy, if choosing between you and my wife ever felt like a hard decision, I wouldn't deserve her. We're not kids anymore. You need to grow up. I simply do not want to be your friend anymore. I have nothing else to say. Telling you, he can be a gem sometimes. But yeah, we blocked her and her entire family. Since then, he's been checking in with me. Not trying to fix things, just showing up, listening, understanding. He finally sees what I've been dealing with. We've still got some healing to do, but now I know where he stands, and that changes everything for me. To everyone who commented last time, thank you, seriously. You helped me feel like I wasn't crazy, and maybe even more importantly, you helped him finally see it too. Second story. I, 33 female, was not invited to my boyfriend's 31 male family wedding, and now I want to skip their summer reunion. My boyfriend and I have been together for just over 3 years. We live together and are in a committed relationship. Over time, I've made a genuine effort to connect with his family. I've joined them for holidays, birthdays, and other gatherings. I've always tried to be kind, respectful, and supportive. His aunt, 46 female, who's considered the last single aunt in the family, announced that she is getting married in June this year. It has been a big deal for everyone, and the family is very excited. I assumed I would be attending the wedding with my boyfriend. I've met his aunt several times, and we've always gotten along. There has never been any tension or awkwardness. When I asked my boyfriend about the plans, he told me that he had been invited, but was not allowed to bring a +1. I felt disappointed, but I wanted to give the benefit of the doubt. I figured maybe the wedding was small or the guest list was limited. Then I found out that his younger brother, 26 male, who has only been dating his girlfriend, 20 female, for about 6 months, was allowed to bring her to the wedding. That really hurt. I don't blame her at all, but it made me feel like I am not seen as part of the family even after 3 years. I talked to my boyfriend about how I felt. I explained that it made me feel excluded and undervalued. He listened and was supportive. He told me he understood why I was hurt and that my feelings were valid. At the same time, he feels that I shouldn't let this one event affect how I view his family as a whole. He thinks I should continue attending family gatherings and that skipping them might make things more awkward or strained later on. That's where I'm struggling. There's a family reunion coming up this summer in September. It is a big camping trip they do every year, and everyone attends. Normally, I would go, but right now I don't feel comfortable. I want to sit this one out. I feel like I need time to process and protect my emotional space instead of forcing myself into a situation. I love my boyfriend, and I'm not trying to create a rift or make him choose sides. I just need some space to think about what this all means for me and how I fit into his world moving forward. Has anyone dealt with something similar? How do you find the balance between protecting your feelings and staying connected with your partner's family? Now for the top advice before reading the update. Can't he just call his aunt and ask her why? That's what I would be doing if I was him. Yeah, and it's kind of weird that the boyfriend isn't more proactively questioning it, especially with his younger bro being able to bring his much newer girlfriend, and he's not questioning or pushing back on it at all? I would definitely be asking why I'm the only one who can't bring my significant other if I were in his position. Like immediately upon being told I couldn't bring them, I'd be asking why not. Maybe he did ask, cause in my opinion, this all seems like he already knows and accepts why she's not invited. I think it's because the answer is that the boyfriend didn't want her to go, while the younger brother did. Or boyfriend knows why OP wasn't invited, and he either agrees with it, or he doesn't want OP to know why because he knows it will make things worse. Or both. Now for the update. Wow, I didn't expect this to get so much attention overnight. Thank you all for the kind comments and support. I truly appreciate it. I also wanted to clear up a few things and share an update. Some of the comments speculating that my boyfriend was being shady actually made me laugh. The wedding invitation was sent out in March through the Knot website. I went through the whole site, including the couple's story and the Q&A section. To RSVP, you have to type in your full name, and it will indicate whether you're invited solo or with a +1. When my boyfriend entered his name, only his name came up, no +1. Out of curiosity, we typed in his younger brother's name, and it did include his girlfriend's name. In the Q&A section, it said the guest list was limited, and only those listed by name were invited. At first, my boyfriend was upset and wanted to reach out to his aunt directly. I told him not to, since I didn't want to add any extra stress to her while she's planning her wedding. I helped my best friend plan hers last year, so I know how overwhelming it can be. Instead, he called his dad to talk about it. He stepped out for the conversation, so I'm not exactly sure what was said. After I posted about it last night, I brought it up again with my boyfriend. He was hesitant at first, but eventually opened up. I had a gut feeling about his younger brother, and it turns out I wasn't wrong. The couple decided not to invite unwed partners, but they made an exception for his younger brother. From what I've seen and heard over the years, he's definitely the family favorite. He was a NICU baby, and the family has treated him with extra care. He usually gets what he wants and rarely faces consequences. As we talked more, my boyfriend admitted he does feel some resentment toward his younger brother. He said it's always felt like his brother receives special treatment, and this is just another example. He's come to accept it because it's been that way since his brother was born. There are clearly deeper emotions at play for him, and I want to support him through that. I also found out that a cousin's 34 male long-term girlfriend, 29 female of 8 years, wasn't invited either. That made me feel a little less alone. She's actually more upset about it than I am. I reached out to her, and we're planning a spa and nail day on the wedding day. Honestly, it helps to know I'm not the only one feeling left out. My boyfriend and the cousin are still planning to attend the wedding to support their aunt, which I completely understand. It's an important day for her. It still stings that I wasn't included, but I've accepted that I can't control how others choose to handle their guest lists or family dynamics. I'm choosing to focus on my peace instead. I'm still undecided about attending the family reunion camping trip, but if the cousin's girlfriend goes, I'll be more open to it. P.S. The petty part of me wants to not invite this couple to our future wedding when my boyfriend and I get married, and also not give the younger brother a +1. It made me laugh just thinking about it. I might get over it by then, but I thought it was a funny little thought worth sharing.